going on, everybody? This is your boy JC from JC Eagles Talk, and I got my man back on my show. I mean, he's a very busy guy, but guess what? It's football season, and he made just enough time to come on this show and talk football. Not only football, but the Philadelphia Eagles. Let's
Yes,
go, my
sir.
guy. Introduce
Yes, sir.
yourself and let them know who you are and what you're working on.
As you already know, I'm your guy, Tone Deshields II from Chalk It Up, where no matter if we win or if we lose, we just got to charge it to the game. Make sure you guys please go check out the YouTube channel. I uploaded so much new content on there as well. I do live streams, I do analysis, I do breakdowns. I do all of that. All the content you can think of, I'm with it, man. I give you guys my passion, my energy. I cover the Eagles for the most part. Every now and again, I throw in some Sixers. You know what I'm saying? But you guys, we're one to know. The Philadelphia Eagles look very, very interesting right now. I'm not going to crown us in any way. I'm not going to crown us in any way. You know, they don't give out week one trophies.
Nope.
But, as an Eagles fan, as an Eagles content creator, I think it's important to acknowledge where we thought this team would be versus where they are. And I think I think that's very important. I think the Atlanta Falcons game was the perfect tune-up. But we're gonna get into all that kind of stuff, man. Like I said, from Chalk It Up, where no matter if we win or if we lose, my name is Tone Deshields II. And I'm blessed by my man JC for allowing me to come on his platform once again, man. The guy's a dope content creator, up and coming like myself. He's grinding like no other. Make sure you get my man to 800 subs because he deserves all of it, man. He gives you guys his heart, his passion. He gives you guys his analysis, gives you guys dope content, dope interviews. Like him with my boy, man. He's that guy.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it. Now let's get into it. The first thing first, the injury report, right? The injury report, it came out. JJ, our MVP, number one in our hearts, number 19 on the field. He got a little ankle injury, so he didn't practice today. Brendan Brooks with the knee, he's basically resting. Mike Epps, concussion during the game, so he left the game early, and Kayvon Wallace, he had time to his opportunity to shine, so he didn't practice. Zach Ertz, Ryan Kerrigan, those didn't practice either, and then the rest is basically rest. Trying to get these vets ready. Yeah, trying to get these guys ready for the upcoming game. But the good thing on here is Lennon Dickerson. He was full go. He's a full practice. I don't know. I don't know if that's a good sign to come that he might play, but I don't know. But hey, he practiced. He's ready to go. So just in case anything should happen. But look, it is what it is. And right now we are healthy. And I do want to I do want to talk about JJ a little bit because I think that we are really not giving this guy enough credit. I know everybody get on me because of JJ Arcega-Whiteside. He's a wide receiver. I get it. But PFF, written by my guy, Hunter Doyle, Philly Insider Podcast, he wrote this piece on JJ Arcega-Whiteside. PFF gave him some love. And you all know how PFF hate the Philadelphia Eagles. So if JJ made PFF ranking list for special teams, look, kudos to the guy, all right? So right now, he's not that the top flight wide receiver that we drafted him to be. That's fine, but he's doing some good for the Philadelphia Eagles. And one thing that sticks in my mind is Nick Sirianni. He told you that every guy on this team has a specific role. He was going to use all these guys to their strength. And JJ's strength right now, his special team is being that physical, big body blocking wide receiver. So I just want to give him some love already. I know, Tone, you're not very high on JJ, but look.
Anymore.
Okay,
I want to make that clear because there was a point where, especially his first two seasons, I was truly, truly pulling for him, truly wanting his career to take it to the next step. But the devil's in the details, right? In that headline, Hunter wrote, he said, JJ Arcega-Whiteside tops a PFF list. So I think we were talking about that before we started. What list did he top per se?
Special teams.
Special teams, okay.
Yes.
Now, that actually speaks to why he's on this 53-man roster and why Travis Fulgham isn't.
Yeah.
Because both of them didn't really wow you offensively, right? But JJ did have that pretty pretty impressive touchdown in the final preseason game. And Travis Fulgham tried to score a touchdown, but he fumbled at the end zone, right? So you take that into consideration. And also you take into consideration what Travis Fulgham did the previous season. He had that kind of the buffer as well because he showed potentially how good he can be. So you saw Travis Fulgham's ceiling. You don't really know JJ Arcega-Whiteside's ceiling as of yet. But they didn't really have too much pulling for each of them in either direction. So the deciding factor had to be special teams.
Yep.
Who okay, you guys aren't our top wide receivers. You guys aren't really showing the flashes we would like. Okay, who's showing the most effort?
Mm-hmm.
Talent aside, who's showing the most effort? And I believe that's where JJ beat him out. And I'll tell people right away, JJ earned his roster spot.
Yeah.
He earned it. And I'm not going to take that away from him. I'm not going to minimize it because special teams is very important. We saw how important special teams was even in week one. Our new punter, Sippos. He pinned them behind their 10-yard line, I believe 3 to 4 times, if I'm not mistaken. And that made them have to go that whole field, and it made them have to dig deep into their Rolodex of plays. And when a coach has to do that, and you notice with Atlanta, once they got off script, they lost all flow. And it just seemed as though with Nick Sirianni, as the game was developing, it just seemed like he had scripts on top of scripts on top of scripts. Like he was prepared for every situation.
Exactly.
I'll be completely transparent. That might have been the most seamless Eagles football I've seen in the past 2 years. I've never seen that team look so. Now penalties aside, because it's week one. You know, a lot of them been playing preseason, so they had to be on the same accord. But I don't think I've seen ever an Eagles win that clean
since 2017.
Since 2017. Like that was a clean performance. Offense, defense, and special teams. Defense kind of, was shaky at first, but after those first two,
we're gonna get into all that. Yeah. Yes, sir. Hey, real quick, Gamer T1000. Hey, can you say happy birthday to my friend Nicker? He would have really appreciated it. Hey, Nicker, from myself, from Tone Deshields. Happy birthday, it only comes once a year. Enjoy it. Enjoy it.
It's a blessing. It's a blessing.
Yes. So, hey, let's get into it. Your thoughts on this past Sunday big win. And what was your biggest takeaway from this game?
Like I mentioned, a very beautiful win. Now, the Atlanta Falcons aren't really the cream of the crop, right? Yeah. But they are an NFL team. They are NFL talent. And at one point, they were in the Super Bowl. They've steadily regressed. That defense hasn't really been threatening for the past few years, and we're beginning to see the writing on the wall from Matt Ryan.
Yeah.
Now that's as it pertains to those guys. Let's just get that out of the way now. They're not the cream of the crop when it comes to competition, but I do believe it was the perfect tune-up match for the Eagles to start off their season. It was the perfect springboard to get them on the right track, to get them in the right mindset going into the season. And again, that's NFL talent that we're going up against.
Yeah.
Those young guys, the offensive line, they needed that boost. They needed that boost of confidence. They needed to experience that level of efficiency as a unit, as a team.
Mm-hmm.
And Jalen Hurts impressed me with his poise. He impressed me with his ability to command the line of scrimmage. He impressed me with his ability to just read and take what the defense gave him. A lot of people get on him about not really taking too many shots downfield, but I believe during that game, our calling card was the short and intermediate.
Yeah.
The Atlanta Falcons were pretty much, they were playing a lot of cover 3. It was a lot of zone. I'll just put it that way. There was a lot of zone in the secondary. So when you think about all those things, Jalen Hurts' pocket presence was amazing. Jordan Mailata, oh my goodness, Jordan Mailata, he earned that contract yesterday. He showed why they gave him that money. Oh my God, what he did to Richie Gant, the safety. Oh my goodness, did him dirty. The rookies on top of that, Kenny Gainwell, Devontae Smith making an impact early, and they say rookies can't make an impact too much in the NFL. I bet those guys came in and rookies, they needed that confidence. They know they belong in this league.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But again, it was the perfect tune-up match. And I think this is the perfect amount of momentum we need to take going into San Fran. And then my biggest takeaway is Nick Sirianni's control of this team. Nick Sirianni's preparation.
Mm-hmm.
As a rookie head coach, one coach looked like a rookie and one coach looked like he'd been there before.
Exactly.
Arthur Smith looked like he was still knocking the dust off his playbook. Like he didn't know, like he still was trying to figure out what was going on.
Yeah.
And Nick Sirianni was just in the flow of the game. He was interacting with his guys. There was a moment when the Falcons drove down that field, right? And we did stop them. And I think it was 4th down. The camera cut to Nick Sirianni. And I don't know who he was talking to. I think it was after Hassan Ridgeway had a defensive holding penalty called on him. He had 2 of them called on him. It was one of them on one of those drives he had it called on him. And I vividly remember Nick Sirianni pointing. I don't know if he was pointing at him, but it was right after that penalty happened. So I'm going to assume it was him. He was pointing at him, and he said, and he literally mouthed to him. He mouthed him and said, "After this play, we need to talk." Straight up like that. He said after this play, I need to talk to you. He said it twice. I don't know if he was talking to Ridgeway, but it would make sense because of that penalty, it almost screwed up our situation. But we got to dodge, thank God. So he straight up. So his command of this team, the way he had this team prepared, buttoned up, they were so sharp. They were so sharp. Yes. Even the touchdown with Devontae Smith. You think about what goes into those pick plays. Zach Ertz exercised the perfect amount of technique. Devontae Smith coming off the line of scrimmage. Zach Ertz just getting in the defender's way ever so slightly. Yes. He was like, "Whoa, sorry, I didn't see you there." So my biggest takeaway is Nick Sirianni's command of this team, man. He's definitely the guy. Again, more competition is going to come, but so far, so good.
Look, my thought on this Sunday big one is this. This was the 4th preseason game, but it was a great 4th preseason game. Yes, we saw the mistakes that happened, the 14 penalties that was called on the Philadelphia Eagles. Yeah, we saw, the little shallow passes and everything. I feel like that this game was exactly how the Dallas Cowboys played their game. Little quick throws, protect your young or your fragile, quarterback in case of a Dak Prescott. But in our case, it gave Jalen Hurts confidence. So I love the fact that he came out like this. His play calling was on point, both offense and defense. Yes, on defensive side, yes, we was caught out of place a couple times on the cutback runs, but for the most part, we was getting to Matt Ryan. We just couldn't grab his shirt and bring him down. So my thought on this past Sunday is this: I love the way this team is put together. The perfect amount of veterans, rookie presence, leadership wise, offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator. I mean, I just love this team. I love the vibe so far.
I agree.
I love the vibe. It felt like a 2017 vibe again. This team is underdog. In 2017, when we came in, nobody expected us to do anything because the year before that, Carson, we finished, I believe, 7-9, and then the following season, hey, nobody, thought that we was going to do anything, and then we took off. I'm not going to say, hey, we are on the same track. I'm not going to say that, but I'm saying that the vibe I got from this team this past Sunday, I feel like it's going to be a special year. My biggest takeaway is Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts been dogged on, been talked about, been ranked like not even in top 32 in the PFF. And he came in this game with a lot of pressure on him and Nick Sirianni. And they both rose up to the occasion.
Right. And they both got that monkey out their back.
Yeah.
I think they both got that monkey out their back. Just that getting that first win, getting that week 1 out the way. Because a lot of people expected them. Listen, the odds, a lot of people were trying to say they said the Eagles were winning, but all the odds were saying we were going to lose. All the odds, all the bets and everything. And you got to give Nick Sirianni and Jalen Hurts credit for being able to come out here on the road. Like I said, it's not easy to win. I don't care who you play. When you have to go on the road, you have to really mentally prepare yourself. There's an extra level of preparation that comes with playing on the road in the NFL. So I'm not going to minimize any win in the NFL. Like Nick Sirianni did such an amazing job catering this offense or catering the game plan to his players' strengths. He
Yeah.
literally was using his guys the way they needed to be used in that game. Now we're going to see. I want to see the playbook expand a little bit. Again, he needed to get those guys confidence up. He wanted to get those guys warm. Hey, listen, you guys can play in this league. You guys can score in this league. Okay, now let's open up the playbook. Now let's really take some shots down the field. I think that's really going to be the telltale sign of how good or how far this team can really go. Can we stretch the field? Can we have those 3 to 5 play drives where we just throw a strike down the field and score? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because you watch the Los Angeles Rams, they were just Max Stafford is exactly what they needed.
Exactly.
You know, and then who else? Just the Chiefs and those teams that can just get it down the field, quick score quick. You know, I think we have the talent to be able to do so. It's just going to take getting those guys acclimated, getting them guys used to used to the speed of the game. And so far so good. These guys look, they're ready and willing to play. And like you said, I really like how this team is constructed so far. I like how everyone's believing in Nick Sirianni's mission. I'm really enjoying that.
Yeah. And my last takeaway was this. Look, this is the head coach and the starting quarterback. Yo, you could tell that their relationship is genuine. Like, you can't fake this type of stuff. Like, the last time I saw this type of quarterback head coach relationship was 2017 when you having fun. You know, when Frank Wright was there, Dave Filippo was there, and Doug Peterson, he had that mindset that we are underdogs and we could be special. That was the last time I saw this type of quarterback head coach relationship, and I love it. This tells me a lot that these two are on the same page, and he trusts Jalen Hurts, because that second fourth down that they went for, Jalen Hurts was like, "No, I got it." You know what I mean? And we didn't get it, but the fact that he showed he showed trust in Jalen Hurts. So look, I'm glad, and that was my biggest takeaway. Jalen Hurts' command of the offense, Nick Sirianni play calling, and the head coach and quarterback relationship. It's so important. I don't care if no other relationship works. If the head coach and the quarterback is on the same page, that quarterback could win a lot of games, could rally the troops around him because he had the confidence of the head coach, and hey, he trusts them. So
here's the thing: winning, everyone's happier when they're winning.
Absolutely.
This team will lose this year. That's going to come.
Yeah.
That they will lose this year. Let's just make that known, everybody. And I'm pretty sure we're all aware they're going to lose. And there may be a game where they lose bad. So we have to mentally prepare ourselves for that. And that team, that's the real test. How do we respond when we lose?
Yes.
How do we respond as a team when we lose a certain way? Yeah. So that's going to be the real test when it comes to not only this team's chemistry, but Nick Sirianni's hold on the team, maintaining the pulse of the team. Because winning cures all.
Oh, absolutely.
But when you're losing, do they still believe in those? Hey, this is a 17-round season. You know what I'm saying? Do they still believe in, hey, the rent is due every day? Do they still believe in those mantras, right? Hey, this is dog mentality. Do they still believe? So far, the guys are believing. Guys like Brandon Graham, I was watching his press conference. He says, listen, we truly love what we're building here. Like a lot of the older guys like me, we're really believing in these young guys, and Nick Sirianni, he's as advertised. He is who he is. He is who he says he is. He's the same way he came in. That's exactly how he is now. He hasn't shown us anything different. So I think that's important as a head coach to maintain poise when things get hot.
Yeah, I agree. So, was you shocked the way the Eagles dominated the Atlanta Falcons? We played this team 3 out of the past 4 years, and it always came down to the last quarter, the last under 2-minute drive. The Nelson Aguilar drop, the Julio Jones drop in the end zone, but he still would not come down with it anyway. So it's always came down to a close game. But I feel like with this game, though, the Atlanta Falcons never faced the Philadelphia Eagles with a mobile quarterback, that a dual threat quarterback. And Carson Wentz was mobile now, but he wasn't a truly dual threat quarterback. And I think that was the difference in this game because there were times that they had some free rushers, and Jalen Hurts just stepped up and escaped the pocket and boom, and made something happen. I think that's why the Eagles are so good in this game. But was you surprised the way they dominated this game?
I was. I expected this game to be 24-17. I expected the Falcons to be able to, get Kyle Pitts involved, especially Calvin Ridley. I was more, to be honest with you, I was more worried about Calvin Ridley. But then before the game started, I thought about something. I think I mentioned it in I mentioned it in my pregame live stream with Philly Foothills. We're going to be doing those every Sunday before the game. And Julio Jones is not there. Now, think about this.
Mm-hmm.
Julio Jones is a bona fide de facto number one wide receiver. No question about it.
Yep.
Calvin Ridley was his number two. Being next to a guy like Julio Jones affords you the luxury of being almost wide open all the time.
Yeah.
Now, Julio Jones isn't there anymore. Calvin Ridley is the number one. Now, sure, that first drive, they got him involved quickly, right?
Yeah.
But all that ended fairly quickly. All that ended very, very quickly. He couldn't really get open after that.
Mm-hmm.
But even so, think about it like this also. Remember when AB was with the Steelers? Juju had that amazing year.
Absolutely.
Juju
MVP voted by the team that year.
And AB left.
Yes.
Juju had to be the number one. And he wasn't looking like a number one. He was looking more like a two that was trying to be a number one. And I'm not taking nothing away from his talent. I believe Juju is a top 15 wide receiver in his league. I believe that. Okay. Maybe top 15, top 20, honestly.
Yeah.
But I believe Juju's a top 15, top 20 wide receiver in this league. Mm-hmm. But I don't think he's a number one. No. So Calvin Ridley and Kyle Pitts had been added to the mix. Mm-hmm. Was Calvin Ridley able to hold that load? And it seemed like he was. But then all of a sudden he was a non-factor. Kyle Pitts, a non-factor. So that was something I entered the game with, like, okay, maybe we can win this game. Mm-hmm. Can Calvin really carry his weight? Well, will Kyle Pitts be guardable? Because I was worried about Avonte Maddox. Avonte Maddox in the slot. I was worried about those things. So I'm like, okay, we're gonna really have to wait and see how this game plays out. I thought we were gonna win the game 24-17. 24-17, straight like that. But 32-6, that surpassed my expectations. That blew my expectations out of the water. I'm sitting home watching the game with my people, and I'm like, is this really happening? Like I'm sitting on the couch, like, yo, I'm enjoying this beer today. Like I'm enjoying, like, this food tasting a little better right now. So again, it was Atlanta Falcons. They're in the middle of a rebuild. They're not really the most dynamic, but you can't take away the fact that they have some pretty interesting weapons on offense. And we're still a young team that's still trying to figure it out with a new head coach. Mm-hmm. I think they shocked me. They shocked me on Sunday. They completely shocked me in how prepared they were, how they responded to certain things. We got penalties out the ass, and these guys responded well to the penalties. We were able to still move that ball despite penalties. The 2-minute drive sold me, though. The 2-minute drive before halftime, that sold me. I was like, whoa, okay. I think I'm starting to believe in this team. Nick Sirianni was flawless in his play calling, flawless in his game management.
Yes.
You expect hiccups out of young coaches. They had one delay a game, that was it. But you expect hiccups. No, that 2-minute drive was seamless. They said, okay, we got 2 minutes left. All right. They drove down the field, scored a touchdown with 2 seconds left. They used that whole thing and utilized their timeouts perfectly. It was splendid.
Yeah, look, I agree with everything that you just said, but everybody want to be that guy until the time comes, the rent is due. And Calvin Ridley he was supposed to be that number one guy. But people don't understand that Julio Jones took so much pressure off of him that it really looked better than he actually is. So, so do you think the Falcons should move Kyle Pitts out to wide receiver and play Hurst because they do got another good tight end? So now, if they move Kyle Pitts out to wide receiver and put Ridley on the other side and Hurst as the regular tight end, do you think now they could get back to running their normal offense because Kyle Pitts could be a wide receiver?
Yeah, it's funny you say that because I was watching him on that field and I'm like, damn, he's slimmer than I thought he was.
Yes, he is.
You know, and
Yes.
that helped. Avante Maddox had a beautiful game. He had a pretty good game. Avante Maddox, Eric Wilson had pretty good games covering that guy. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure just yet. I think that's a move I would probably play around with maybe in the off season. I'm not sure. I'm not, or at least maybe have build some packages where he is further outside. But I don't think that's something I would really do right now because at that point, okay, that mean you're moving Gage to the slot, and at that point, it's like you're literally turning him into a wide receiver. I think that would work if he's doing that sporadically. Maybe to take advantage of mismatches. But again, I'm like Philly Mike said, man, Avante Maddox had an amazing game. Like Avante, you know what? You want to know how I knew Avante Maddox had an amazing game? Nobody said his name.
Yeah.
Nobody said his name. And that's how I know he had a great game. Nobody said his name.
Yeah, I mean, so do you think look, it's only one game. It's only one game, and Maddox played great. Big play Slay, he played great. Everybody on defense played great.
Steven Nelson played pretty well.
Yes. Nelson, I ain't hear his name at all either. So, but do you think it was just the players or the scheme that JG put together that made them shine that well?
Interesting. That's a very interesting question because initially the guys were not tackling well.
Yeah.
It seemed like they had to get early game jitters off of them. It just seemed like they weren't. It seemed like they were trying to hit rather than tackle.
Yeah.
So, you saw the adjustment JG made, and he said it in his press conference. He said we had to get back to the fundamentals. We had to get back to technique, and we lost that early on. The guys were just flying around. I think that showed a lot about JG as well. Him being able to command that defense, say, hey, look, y'all don't let them go up that field twice. Tighten up.
Yeah.
They got back to the fundamentals, and I think JG's scheme, because he mixed it up.
Yeah, he did.
You saw 5-man fronts, you saw 4-man fronts, you saw 3-man fronts, you saw moments where the defensive ends were standing up. He was literally throwing so many looks at Matt Ryan, and I think a combination of because at the end of the day, if you don't have the talent, you can't get much done. I think it was actually a perfect hand and glove fit. I think it was a combination of having guys like Darius Slay, having that defensive line that was able to generate pressures after the first quarter, having a linebacker like Eric Wilson who's also able to drop back in coverage, having a guy like Anthony Harris. Anthony Harris had a great game as well. I think it was the perfect. Our defense has a great blend of veterans and youth, and I think JG just got those guys back on track, not just with having those guys focus on fundamentals, but also just his ability to just mix it up on defense. You saw him throwing things at the wall until it stuck. You know what I'm saying? You saw him trying to figure it out. In previous years, it seemed like our defense just was what it was. It was
and he wasn't afraid to pull you either because Wilson got pulled and Bradley got put into the defensive lineup. So
Sean Bradley had a good game too.
Yeah, so he was kind of mixing it like the whole time. And then the second drive, you saw a little bit different because that first drive was 15 plays. I mean, the defense was on the field for 11 minutes in the first quarter. I was scared in the first quarter. I was like, oh my God, this is the first game. Come on
I
now,
was
this guy's
nervous.
gonna be
I was
tired.
nervous.
And then all of a sudden, that second drive, now I was like, okay, all right. Now they're starting to settle down. Now they're starting making tackles. Now Ridley is stopped catching the ball. Ridley had a back to back to back, like 5 catches in a row. I was like, could y'all stop this guy? And then all of a sudden, the adjustment was made. Wilson was pulled. He slipped a couple times when the cutbacks, when the running back cutback, it wasn't nobody there. So he did the adjustment. I love the end game adjustment by
I love a
JG. And
coach
that's,
that's not afraid. I love a coach,
yeah,
not to cut you off, but I love a coach that's not afraid to say, "Hey, listen, take a beat."
yeah,
I love a
yeah,
coach that's willing to say, "Hey, take a beat. You're not it right now. Hey, Bradley, get in. Hey, Davion,
exactly.
hey, get in." You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
I love that because it lets these guys know, yo, okay, he's not going to leave me out there to drop. He
yes,
knows I'm getting he knows I'm getting screwed. He's not going to hang me out there to drop. You
yeah,
know, and then
yeah,
also JG believes in letting most of his guys, if not all his guys, get reps because it's better to have guys out there that got maybe 20 to 30 reps rather and then all of a sudden you get an injury and you got to throw out a guy that had no reps. You know what I'm saying? So
exactly.
he in his press conference he said, I believe in getting everybody out there.
Yes.
Everybody need to get a taste of this action.
Yeah, and I like it because it keeps your defense fresh. It keeps your defense fresh for the fourth quarter. So let's move on to this right here. What did you see from Jalen Hurts that gave you confidence that he can be our quarterback of the future?
I need to see more. I'm not going to lie to you. I want to see more. He showed he improved his accuracy. But beyond that, his decision making and his ability to protect the football and keep the play
Yes.
alive. He is a wild card on defense. He makes those defensive linemen, he makes those linebackers hesitate a split second, an extra second, and sometimes that's all you need.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's all you need. So I was really impressed by his ball security. I was impressed by his decision making. I was impressed by his poise. I was impressed that he dropped back 35 times and completed over 70% of his passes. Now, granted, short and intermediate, but you still got to throw that ball from point A to point B. You still got to see that field, and I'm not going to minimize any level of accuracy at the end of the day. That guy showed he showed me that he is trending in the right direction. I'll say that.
Yeah.
I still want to see more. I was having a conversation with one of my subscribers, a pretty heated debate about the whole Jalen Hurts thing, and at the end of the day, we ultimately agreed that yes, we liked what we saw, but we need to see more. We need to see him in different situations, under different circumstances. But my whole thing is this: if this offensive line and defensive line can stay healthy and continue to do what they're doing, and continue to do what they're doing, we have a puncher's chance with anybody.
Yeah, look, I love what I saw from Jalen Hurts the whole game. Not one part of the game. I'm like, oh my God, come on, man. No, I was like, oh my God, this guy. And I kept on saying it because I did the play-by-play that day. And I kept on saying, if you switch that jersey and put a number 3 on it, it reminded me of Russell Wilson. I'm going to keep saying it. I'm keep saying it because Russell Wilson, his mentality, the way he carried himself, his press conferences, his leadership, the way he trained. It seems like that we got a clone of Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson was a 4th-round pick. Remember, that wasn't his job to win. He went into a training camp battling Matt Flynn, which just signed for a 3-4-year contract with Seattle. And guess what happened? Jalen Hurts. This wasn't his job. And, somebody else just gave it to him, basically, when Carson Wentz left, and he actually worked for it. But if you take that number 1 jersey off and put a number 3 jersey, let's go back and watch the game. The way he stepped up, the way he got the feel that your left tackle just got beat, and for him to get out of the pocket, his pocket presence is beautiful to me. Like I'm like, man,
he has awareness. Yeah, he has
awareness, and his press conferences are outstanding. Like it's never too high, too low. It's always like, hey, let's move on to the next game. Hey, I gotta do better. He never say we didn't play better, like we didn't do it. He said I gotta do better. He takes accountability, and that's a breath of fresh air for me. So I feel like, regardless how this season goes, if we really give him the confidence that we believe in him and in the city of Philadelphia and build around him, I saw him play in Alabama, Oklahoma. He's an NFL quarterback. The league is changing to those type of quarterbacks: the Russell Wilson, the Lamar Jackson, the Kyler Murray, the Jalen Hurts. So what's the difference between Jalen Hurts and those guys I just mentioned? Like, and we saw Lamar Jackson play, and he can't throw the ball as good as Jalen Hurts can. I mean, yes, he threw for 31 touchdowns. I got it. But hey, Lamar Jackson is in his 4th year. And I watched that Monday night game. I was like, come on. There's no way he should be that bad of a thrower or so quick to run out the pocket. People saying that Jalen Hurts is fast to run out the pocket. Lamar Jackson, he's going out the pocket within 2-3 seconds because his first instinct is to look one way and take off. So I believe that, hey, I saw enough from Alabama, Oklahoma, and throughout the whole offseason and preseason, especially on this first game. I know it's one game, but you can't fake a blitz. You can't fake a guy like a rusher that's free running towards you and you escape him. You can't fake that. I mean, that's have to be in you. So
I understand. Yeah. Again, I don't want to crown him just yet. I understand why people see the Russell Wilson comparison. I get it. I completely get it. Similar size, similar build. I completely get it. Kind of a similar entry into the NFL. Guys that weren't really expected to really do much early on. But we want to really enjoy this guy. We want to let this guy get his lumps. You know what I'm saying? We want to let this guy really develop. And who knows? But one thing I do believe in, I believe in his mentality. I believe in his work ethic. I believe that he truly, truly wants to be great. I believe he truly believes that this is his team. He operates like this is his team. Yes. He moves like this is his team. He talks like this is his team. He plays like this is his team. And these guys, this roster, they believe in him. You can see it. BG was in the press conference. He said, "Yo, we believe in Hurts. We know we trust him to get us there." You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, think about that first drive where defense gave up 3 points. Not just giving up 3 points, but how they gave it up. They drove down the field flawlessly. Red zone defense came in. Jalen Hurts is like, "Hey, I got y'all defense." Drove down the field, touchdown. Boom. Touchdown. So it's that him doing that, the nuance in that. Because defense is watching. They're like, all right, let's see what the young buck gonna do.
We need a break. Hey, we need a breather.
Yep. Well, let's see what he's gonna do. He drove down that field. The penalties came, but he kept driving, and he trusted his reads. He trusted everything, and he delivered that ball flawlessly. And we're definitely going to talk about that, DeMarcus Lawrence, because that's huge for us.
I just found that out right now.
Oh, really? Oh, I found out earlier today. Oh,
wow!
Because I found out a little before this live stream, actually. Okay. But yeah, Jalen Hurts, he's trending in the right direction. I don't want to, as much as I want to, I don't want to put that pressure on him and say, oh, he's the next Russell Wilson. I don't want to do that to him.
Okay.
I want to truly let him go through this season, because I don't believe we're Super Bowl ready yet. We're not ready for a Super Bowl. We're not ready to make a deep playoff run. I don't think.
Okay.
It's too soon to be able to tell that anyway. Yeah, but exactly. I believe based on what we saw, they're trending in the right direction. The fact that they responded well to the head coach, to the new OC, to the new DC, then to the new special teams coordinator, to the new quarterback coach, the new D line coach, the new D back, the new DBs coach, the new linebackers coach. They're responding to the coaching. You can see that team was like post snap. That team was very disciplined, especially with the blocking. Oh my God, Devontae Smith can block. Kenny Gainwell is not afraid to pick up a free blitzer.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You saw those guys were disciplined in their blocking. They were disciplined in their route running. You saw oh my God, Jalen Reagor looked good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He trusted the offense. He took what they gave him, and when his time came, took it to the house. So I'm really excited about where these young guys are going. They needed this game to build that confidence. They know they can put up 30. They know as an offense, based off their talent, they can put up 30+ points. They know that now.
Absolutely.
And that means a lot for them.
Yeah. Agreed. So, hey, what's your thoughts on the Eagles locking up our Mariota? 4 years, 64 plus, could go up to 80 something $million. And can he be the next Jason Peters? Like, we didn't have to worry about that left tackle spot for decades. We knew every year Jason Peters was going to be there. He's that dominant force. I mean, so your thoughts on both? Like his contract extension before the season started? Oh my! It just happened to be before the season started. And can he be the next dominant left tackle for the Eagles?
No, I feel you. I'll be honest with you. When I saw the contract come out, I immediately was like, "Congratulations, brother!
Yes.
Congratulations!" I saw it. When I saw it, two things within my mind. I had a thought of congratulations, and I had another thought of, okay, the pressure's on now. The pressure is officially on. So how are you going to respond? Some people get their money and they get a little nervous. You know,
Only Cowboys players.
Well, look, we got to acknowledge this. We got to acknowledge Brandon Brooks. There was a period in time, and I'm pretty sure he still deals with it. But Brandon Brooks, remember he got paid, and he had to come out of that Seattle. What game was that? He had to come out of because he was having a panic attack. Or he didn't play because he was having a panic attack. It was literally the game after he signed his big deal with us. But my point is, really, I'm proud of Milata. He showed why they paid him on Sunday.
Yes.
That block. He was putting guys on the ground. Him and Lane Johnson has made those defensive
one-handed
look like little boys. His ability to Jason Kelce was just getting to the second level like no other. But Milata, man, I was happy that he got paid. I'm so glad we got a guy like him that has his mentality that's not going to let the money change him.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Guy's 6'8", over 350 pounds. Just a freak athlete. Just a freak athlete. Not afraid to get physical. Not afraid to get in your face. He's just a stellar athlete at that position. And like you said, we've been blessed. To have a guy like Jason Peters, especially when he was at his healthiest.
Yeah.
And then you think about before Jason Peters, we had a guy like Trey Thomas. We can't ignore how blessed we are or have been as an organization, going from Trey Thomas to Jason Peters, then to Jordan Mailata. You have to give credit where credit is due to this organization for dedicating themselves to the offensive line, building his team from the inside out and not the outside in. So I believe Jordan Mailata is poised to be. I think he has just based off how quickly he's developed. Because remember, Jason Peters was drafted in the 7th round or was like undrafted, something like that.
But he was with the Bills first for at least 4 years, before he came to the Eagles. So he came to Eagles polished.
Right. He came in polished. We didn't have to deal with him through his growth pattern.
Yeah.
But Jason Peters, I believe he was either undrafted or wasn't drafted or wasn't drafted high at all. And then, as a matter of fact, you think about Trey Thomas, he was drafted 1st round, 11th overall. So we've just always been blessed with that left tackle position being secured. And Jordan Mailata is poised to cement himself next to the likes of Jason Peters and Trey Thomas. I believe just based off his physical tangibles, his measurables, he can be better than those guys.
Here we go. Hey, Jock. Peters was undrafted tight end with the Bills. What?
There it is. Yep.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
I knew he was undrafted.
Now.
I knew he was undrafted. Yeah. I just wasn't sure if he was like a guard or a tight end. But yeah, you're right, Jock Talk. He can't. So you think about that. Those kind of guys, their work ethic. That's why Jason Peters still in this league now. He has the work ethic. He has he loves this game. I believe Jordan Mailata loves this game. So. Yeah, I'm expecting great things out of Mailata. I believe Mailata can potentially be just as good as Trey Thomas and Jason Peters, if not better.
Okay. So the Philadelphia Eagles yesterday I didn't see this coming, but they freed up $11.1 million in cap space by redoing the Fletcher Cox deal. They gave him $13.9 million and bonus money out of his $15 million base salary. Now they have about $20 million. What do you think is going to happen? Are they going to sign Goddard or any the 1 year deals that we have, if things start looking good, if Anthony Harris is he start balling out because he's on a 1 year deal, if Eric Wilson just start balling out, he's on a 1 year deal. So Steven Nelson. So are they going to try to keep this team together if we're doing good before we hit the off season and now everybody stock is so high? Or are they trying to look for somebody else to bring in, like a bona fide number one linebacker, or what do you think? Why would they clear this much cap space and have this much money and just sit on it? Like, what's going on?
They're preparing to pay someone, and I think they're just waiting to see who deserves it first. I think that's what they're doing. I believe they're waiting to see who deserves it first. Who should they pay right now? And it's all about upside. It's all about, okay, can we get ahead of the market before this price gets too high?
Oh, yeah.
So potentially it could be Dallas Goedert. It may be Josh Sweat.
Damn, Jock talk on fire tonight, boy.
It could be Eric Wilson, who's a young guy, and who showed that he's capable of being that starting linebacker with the Minnesota Vikings. We had to come in for injured Eric Kendricks, I believe it was, and he came in and was supremely effective. That's how that's why the Eagles brought him in, and they want to see if he can do it again. So they're positioning themselves to pay someone. Mm-hmm. I don't think, I'll be honest with you, unless Zach Ertz takes a team-friendly contract, I don't believe he's going to be here next year. Okay. Because it's a reason why they brought back, or they're putting Tyree Jackson on IR. It's a reason. They're positioning themselves to transition smoothly away from Zach Ertz if he feels like he can get more money elsewhere. And Zach Ertz is only 31 years old.
Yeah, I mean, he's
shown on Sunday he can still get open. Yeah. So I believe if Zach Ertz can't get the money here, he's definitely gonna get it elsewhere. That's just the unfortunate, things of the business. But they're positioning themselves to pay someone. It's just a matter of who it's going to be first.
But do you think that they will? All right, so let's just say the trade deadline comes. The Philadelphia Eagles are on a hunt, and they are in the hunt. They are either 1 or 2 in the NFC East, and the trade deadline is up, comes, and they have their eyes on someone. Do you think that they would do a trade? Because how we do. He's always looking for a trade. We picked up Golden Tate 1 year before the trade deadline. Jay Ajayi before the trade deadline. So he's always looking up to pick up somebody. So do you think if we are in the hunt, week 8, week 9, that he would try to go trade with someone and then look, if you trade for somebody, if you give up a 3rd round pick, you gotta pay that person. You know what I mean? Or a 2nd round pick, because that person might change your team. So do you think that's his mindset, and just sitting back and just waiting, or is it just strictly pay your guys and just move on?
I really wouldn't put it past him to trade for someone. If he so it all depends on what our record is around that time, right? Okay, the trade deadline, they added another week of football. So
yeah,
if the trade deadline is week 8, week 9, right?
Yeah, week 8.
And we're 6-2,
or 5-3.
You know what I'm saying? Or 5-3, 5-3. If we're in that mix and we're either tied for the lead in the division or lead in the division,
yeah.
And Jalen Hurts is on fire, like how Carson Wentz was on fire that following season. No one expected that. If he's on fire, this team is firing on all cylinders. Again, I know this team is still retooling, rebuilding, so to speak. But we have veterans on this team for real. We have a Super Bowl level offensive line. We have a playoff ready offensive line from a talent perspective. Lane Johnson, Brandon Brooks, Jason Kelsey, Isaac Samalu,
and a defense too.
Jordan Mailata, defensive line fortified. A healthy blend of veteranship and youth in the DB room. The only big questions on this team really is how good can this head coach be? How good can Jalen Hurts be?
Exactly.
So if we're firing on all cylinders, and also it depends on the quality of victories. It depends on the quality of victory. If we can find a way to split Kansas City and the Buccaneers, if we can find a way to split those games 1-1 or whatever, we show that we can run with those teams or beat one of those teams. If we beat the Cowboys, you know what I'm saying? If we're firing on all cylinders and this team is just in the flow, you gotta go for it. You gotta go for it. You gotta trade somebody or trade for somebody that maybe you're missing in a. For example, like you said, Jay Ajayi, he was needed in that running game. You know what I'm saying? He took our running game. Our running game was firing that year. He said, "Yo, what can we do to take this running game to the next level?" So. And I also believe that's why Jordan Howard's been preserved. Yeah. Jordan Howard didn't play. I think they're keeping him in the rafters just because they know his health can sometimes be an issue. They want to make sure they have that power back because it's good. It's good to have that, especially if you're going deep in the playoffs. A guy that can really pound the rock. But if this team is firing on all cylinders, if they're hot and they're getting quality wins, I wouldn't put it past Howard to say why not.
Yeah, why not? Because Sean McVay took the Rams in the playoffs his first year. Why not? Like why not? Hey, with Jared Goff, was considered a bust. All of a sudden, that Sean McVay came in that year. Hey, Jared Goff was almost in the MVP runnings. So why not? Why not?
Right.
Because
and the only reason people. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Like you said, our offensive line is a Super Bowl caliber offensive line. Our defensive line is Super Bowl caliber defensive line. Our corners, we won the Super Bowl with Jalen Mills as one of our corners, right? McLeod, Jenkins, Coleman, Patrick Robinson as our slot corner. So we probably have the same kind of team that we had in 2017, but we believe. They were so believing in themselves that they was like, you know what? Why not us? So, like you said, if we are 5-3 or 6-2, our 2 losses are to the Chiefs and the Bucks, but we're still 6-2, on top of the division, why not?
Right. I feel you on that. And again, it's only week 1. I don't want to jump out the window just yet.
I'm in my house, man. I'm in my house. My door's locked. And I ain't jumping out no window, man. I'm not jumping out no window.
But you brought up an amazing point though. If this team is trending in the right direction, because again, the main reason people don't expect us to do anything is because of what? Because we were 4-11-1. We were 4-11-1 last year. We have a new head coach.
Yeah.
And Jalen Hurts is still virtually unproven. So those are 3 pretty big factors. And also our wide receiver core is young. So it's the only thing people are doubting really about is the fact that we're a young team in certain areas and we have a new head coach. But there's a first time for everything. And again, I don't think this team is ready for Super Bowl just yet. I just don't think we're there yet. Okay. But if this team is firing, I don't see why we can't get a wild card spot, upset somebody, get to the divisional round. Anything can happen. Because again, we're already seeing these things beginning to unfold in the NFL. You think about San Fran, and again, I don't wish injuries on anybody, but San Fran lost their star corner, lost their star running back.
Yeah. Their linebacker, Greenlaw, have a hamstring issue. So there's a lot of injuries.
You think about the Cowboys. Think about the Cowboys. They lost Michael Gallup. They lost their starting offensive lineman to
Collins.
Collins to suspension, and then Zach Martin. They still don't know if he's going to come back yet. And then on top of that, they just lost their star. They just lost a star edge rusher, DeMarcus Lawrence.
All right, let's talk about that real quick. So, how big of a loss that is for the Cowboys? Because it's still Randy. Well, Randy Gregory is still there, but right now he got COVID. Literally, he got COVID, so he might not even play this upcoming Sunday. Yes, he's vaccinated and all that stuff. They say, hey, if he's feeling good, boom, good to go. But he might not even play this Sunday.
Right.
Like you say, D-Law, he just broke his foot. Collins, he's not playing. So if the Dallas Cowboys lose all these guys, they go down 0-2 even if we lose 1-1, how confident are you that we still could win this division?
I'm very confident. After saying how good they can be, and again, it's the Falcons, and sometimes maybe you have to question yourself: was it a good Eagles team or a bad Falcons team? I think it was a combination of both. Why can't both be true? Why can't they just be that bad and we just be that good? So at the end of the day, this is the NFL. You can't just crap out 32 points. It's hard to score 30 points in the NFL. It's not
Absolutely.
easy.
No.
So all things considered, I believe that there are certain things happening so far that are making our path just a little bit more or a little less bumpy. Because yes, they still got Gregory, right? But you have to factor in this too. Having a guy
He
like
got COVID
D-Law,
though.
right. But he's going to come back eventually. DeMarcus Lawrence is done for the year. He broke his foot.
Yeah.
He's done for the year. So you think about that. Having a guy like D-Law takes having to prepare for D-Law and Randy Gregory. Then you think about having just preparing for Randy Gregory. It's an easier sell, right? You know what I'm saying? So, but they also still have Micah Parsons. Maybe D-Law going down clears the way for Micah Parsons. Maybe he, you know what I'm saying? So they're talented, but I still don't trust their defense. They still allowed over 400 yards to the Buccaneers. Granted, it's the Buccaneers, but they still allowed over 400 yards. In addition to that, they forced 4 turnovers and still lost that game.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's still proven that if the Cowboys don't score 30 or more points, they don't win. They scored 29 points against the Buccaneers team and they lost. The Cowboys only can win one way. They have to score more
Dak Prescott.
They have to score 30 or more points. And look, Dak Prescott throwing the ball 50 plus times a game.
It's not going to work.
It's not sustainable.
Nope.
Now, granted, I think they realized early in that game. Look, Buccaneers, their run defense is down packed. We can't do much about it. We can't do much about it. But I think they knew they had to win that game with Dak's arm. And on top of that, I think they threw that ball that many times because they knew, okay, we got to prove to the league, we got to prove to ourselves, okay, how healthy is Dak?
Well, also they came out today and said that the offensive coordinator called 22 run plays. Dak checked out of 12 of them. So today on Undisputed, they did a debate that they ran, like they called run plays. Dak is the one that checked out of them. So whether he was trying to prove himself or whether he saw something, but they did try to call 22 run plays, and not have him throw for 58 passes.
Right. It's not sustainable to me. It's just not.
It's not. Absolutely not.
And also, yes, you're right, Jog Talk. They did say 6 to 8 weeks, but you got to factor in rehab. You got to factor in setbacks if they come. You got to factor in them actually wanting to slowly get him acclimated again, get him back to speed, get him back to game shape. Not going to that might be the full 8 weeks. You never know. If they're doing well, they may just wait until the playoffs. You never know how things may go, right?
Yeah.
But again, that's something that we got to keep our eye on. And this Eagles team, they're young, unproven,
hungry,
but they're hungry.
Underdogs.
And by them, they needed that game. I'm telling you, they needed to see them. They needed to see themselves do that. All those players, and we know what's another beautiful thing about that too. That makes our offense that much more interesting. 4 different players scored touchdowns.
Absolutely.
So who do you game plan for? Who do you key on? It wasn't like Devontae Smith scored 2 touchdowns and everybody else had one. Like, no, Devontae had one.
Gregor
had one.
Goddard,
and then Gainwell. So it's like who do you key on? Who's the ball going to in this situation?
You don't know. So it's balance.
And that was another thing too. I loved our balance from running the run game and the passing game. It was a beautiful balance.
All right, so going into this Sunday matchup, what is your thought on our offense and defensive line, and what would you like to see in order for us to make Jimmy G or Trey Lance uncomfortable? Because I feel like that Trey Lance will play a lot more than what people think because of our defensive pressure, and Jimmy G is not mobile enough. So I feel like that Kyle Shanahan, he's playbook will expand more with Trey Lance back there. So I feel like that Trey Lance might play a lot more than people think. So what do you want to see from our offensive line? As far as protecting Jalen Hurts, as giving him time, running the ball, and our defensive line as far as getting pressure on Jimmy G or being disciplined enough to contain a Trey Lance that's very mobile outside the pocket. Trey Lance came in the game for 5 snaps and scored 1 touchdown against the Detroit line. But I'm not saying that's oh my God, every 5 snaps he's going to score. But the fact that he is able to come in for 5 snaps and score a touchdown, put a lot of pressure on the Philadelphia Eagles defense.
Well, the Detroit Lions defense is not good. They're not good.
Of course.
They're not good. But I will say this though. I was rewatching some plays from that game. And when it comes to our offensive line, we can run on them. I watched Detroit.
I saw it.
I watched Detroit put up over 100 yards on them. They were able to run on those guys, and they were able to move the ball. Detroit was able to get some takeaways as well. So they're not flawless. They're not.
Oh, no.
They're not unbeatable. They're not that complicated, right? What's complex about them is the misdirection.
Boom. That's it.
Our defensive line, our linebackers in particular, they had to stay disciplined with their eyes. They had to focus on their matchup, focus on their keys, focus on their assignment, and don't worry about who's moving this way, moving that way. I watched a lot of plays, a lot of positive plays for the San Francisco 49ers that they moved a lot of people this way, but the ball went they moved a lot of people this way, but the ball went that way. So I think it's important for us to just discipline. Our discipline as a team is going to be tested this Sunday.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
JG's adjustment, his willingness to adjust, we know he's willing to adjust, but his ability to adjust, his ability to combat Shanahan's play calling savvy, because Shanahan's top 5, top 3 in his league in play calling. He's up there. And they rely heavily on their run game. They rely heavily on it. If we can turn Jimmy G into a real thrower of the football, if we can make Jimmy, if we can force Jimmy to throw that ball 35 to 40 times a game,
oh man, we good.
We neutralize that running game because Mozart got hurt, but they got this young guy they got this rookie Mitchell who looked really good. But again, a bad Detroit team. They don't have the defensive line nowhere near what we have. So it's going to be interesting. Mitchell was the only one that was able to really get off. So if we can neutralize their running game, force that team to really rely on their pass game, because your play action game only works if your running game is working. So if we can force that team to throw the ball more than they want to, if we can force them in 3rd and long situations, keep them in that 3rd and 7, 3rd and 9 range. If we can keep them in that range, if we can keep them 3rd and 7 and back for the better part of that game, it's going to be huge. And we have to win on first down. We have to win on first down. First down is going to be huge.
See, that's another, you kind of transition into it.
I got you.
Going to this game, because, we was on the field a lot in the first quarter against the Atlanta Falcons. I feel like if we are on the field this much in the first quarter, that the San Francisco 49ers are going to tire us out. The misdirection, just like you mentioned. And it's funny that you mentioned that because Nick Sirianni in his press conference was like, we have to prepare for a misdirection going that way. Also, they go that way. So the Philadelphia Eagles know what's coming. So it's all about the game preparation. So what are some keys that they need to work on, improve on going into this game?
Tackling for one. We can't have a first quarter like that. We can't afford to make those kind of mistakes against a team like San Fran. Now that last time we played them, their quarterback Jimmy G wasn't in, and we barely won that game. And we barely won that game. So we have to be honest with ourselves and say, okay, that team is pretty much virtually the same team. Now they're missing their running back. George Kittle was healthy; he's back. We can't have Bowen like Eagle has Landon said.
He was back last year though. Hey, he caught 15 out of 15, 185 yards I believe, almost 2 touchdowns.
Yeah,
But Jimmy G wasn't back there though.
Yeah, he caught a lot of those on.
Oh.
I'll be honest, he was abusing Kevon Wallace last year. He did a lot of that on a rookie, Kevon Wallace. I want to see him do the same thing on Anthony Harris. I want to see him do the same thing on guys that got a little bit more experience in this league. I'm not saying George Kittle is not. George Kittle's that guy. He's that guy. But it's not going to be that kind of day. It's not. Like I said, they have to work. They have to key in on discipline, key in on assignment discipline. They have to key in on tackling, not just hitting, tackling, secure tackling. And in the offensive line, this is really this is going to come down to the trenches, because you think about that. You think about that San Fran offensive line. What is it? I think it was Trent Thomas or Trent
Williams.
Trent Williams. Sorry.
Yeah, from the Redskins, man.
Oh my goodness.
A beast.
They have Alex Mack at center. They have a legit O line.
Yeah,
so this game is going to be won and lost in the trenches, even more so than the previous game. This game is really going to be won and lost in the trenches. Can Jordan Mailata handle Nick Bosa? That's going to be a big matchup for him as well. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to be paying close attention to D-line and offensive line play this entire game.
Look, I agree. Penalties, and half of the penalties came from Lane Johnson and
Isaac Seumalo.
Yes, our veterans. Not even Mariota. Not Brooks, not Kelsey.
Mailata had one. Mailata had a false start.
But half of them came on the offensive line from those two guys. Mm-hmm. So if they just calm down a little bit and it might have been. I feel like that this first game was the fourth preseason game.
Yeah, because the veterans didn't get a chance to play. The veterans didn't play. Exactly. The old linemen didn't play at all. And then you think about it, like Isaac Seumalo's been hurt in the offseason. He's finally getting healthy again, so he was out of sync a little bit. Lane Johnson been chilling. That comes with the reps. I think we're going to see. I think we're going to cut those penalties in half next week, or this Sunday rather.
Yeah, look, I agree with everything that you just said. So my next question is this. All right, so all of a sudden right now, right? Hey, Jalen Hurts is second. All right, second this past week in performance-wise in the NFL behind Tom Brady. So all of a sudden now PFF is starting to realize that, hey, we might have a legit quarterback. So what's your thought on PFF all of a sudden giving us praise? Jalen Hurts, absolutely second. Tom Brady, Jalen Hurts, and Herbert, Wilson, Cousins, Darnold, Murray, Prescott, Garoppolo, Allen, all beneath our guy. So, and PFF hate the Philadelphia Eagles. So, what is your thought on that?
That's very interesting. That's very interesting. And I saw that stat, and I was like, okay, I want more.
Okay.
I need to see you face a little bit more adversity, Jalen Hurts. I need to see how he performs playing from behind.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I agree.
Your decision, but here's the thing about Jalen Hurts: his poise. He's, you know what those guys said. You know what they said in the press conference. They said he's the same guy no matter what's going on. No matter what. After we score, he stays here. He stays in this mindset. He's, like you said, he never gets too high, he never gets too low. So it's going to be important. It's going to be important for him to remain that way. It's going to be important for him to remain who he is and to not allow the defense to put him in a mental space that makes him start to question what he does.
Yeah.
But you think about Jalen Hurts' upbringing. You think about him coming from a football family, his dad being the coach. You think about him being in that Alabama-style offense. They're going to Oklahoma under Lane Kiffin, I believe, right?
Yes.
You think about his journey. You think about how he came in last season, playing from behind in some of those games, and just how turbulent everything was. You think about all those things, and it leads you to sit back and say, I think he's seen and experienced enough adversity to know what it feels like. I don't think this man to me appears unshakable, unbreakable from a mental perspective.
Yeah. Look, hey, I just find it funny. But I didn't like that article. I didn't like the stats. No, nothing. No. Keep that same mindset.
Agreed. I'm with you on that.
PFF.
I'm with
I
you
don't
on
want
that.
y'all to give us no praise.
All these people on TV changing their tune. It's crazy.
Oh man,
like, it's
Shannon
crazy.
Sharp. Oh, Shannon Sharp is like, look, it's hurt. Hey, make them hurt. Oh, come on, Sharp. Yo, he was like, oh, I'm off the Eagles bandwagon. Oh, I'm all no, I'm done with them. Also,
kind of like Kyle Hurd, and I actually like kind of like Kyle Hurd, believe it or not. I actually like him.
I do.
He was on the show. He was like, look, I'll be honest, like I did not expect them to come out that sharp, that buttoned up, that prepared. Like this team is trending in the right direction.
Yes.
Like so, exactly. my whole thing was everybody look. You got to expect that, right? Back then they didn't want me. Now I'm hot. They all on me. You're gonna expect. You're gonna expect.
I mean, that's life, though. I mean, that's life.
That's life.
You know, like you could do 1,000 things right. The minute you do one thing wrong, all of a sudden, hey, they focus on that one negative. The Philadelphia Eagles been the most successful team in the NFC East for the past 25 years. Like division titles, everything with wins, playoff appearances, everything. But all of a sudden last year, and we have one bad year, and now we are the worst team. We picked to finish 3-14, which pisses me off every time I say it, 3-14. So all these 32 teams, the Philadelphia Eagles are picked to finish 3-14. But it is what it is, man. You know, hey, we're about to wrap this up. So what is your prediction for Sunday? I need a stat line for Jalen Hurts. Nobody else but Jalen Hurts. And your final score prediction. Matter of fact,
I'm not really
let
sure.
Let me open it up for you. Hurts, Smith, like just stats. Just give me some stats and your final prediction.
I got you. See, the score prediction is kind of hard for me right now. I haven't really settled on one yet, but okay. I guess I'll give you an idea where I'm at.
Okay.
I believe the Eagles win. 29-24.
29. Okay, all right. I like it.
I believe the Eagles win 29-24.
Okay.
And from a stat line perspective, QBs are kind of interesting because you got to do the whole like completions versus attempts, and so I'm expecting.
But the final, passing.
Okay. I appreciate this. Jalen Hurts is going for at minimum 250 yards passing. He's going to throw 3 touchdowns again.
Okay.
No, actually, he's going to throw 2. He's going to run 1 in.
Okay.
He's going to have about 50 yards rushing. And then Devontae Smith, I think Devontae Smith is going to have about 10 targets, about maybe 7 or 8 receptions. Then he's going to have about I think Devontae Smith has his first 100-yard game.
Okay.
I'm going for it because I went out on a limb before the game started. I said here's my bold prediction. I said Devontae Smith scores his debut touchdown today. Okay. I called him before the game, and his first catch was his first touchdown. I loved it. So I say Devontae Smith goes for over 100. And that's all I have as far as stats right now.
All right. So look, hey, I think that Jalen Hurts go about similar numbers, about 260. Okay. And he threw for about 3 touchdowns, rush 1 in, because I got us 31-23. So 31-23.
Interesting.
And so I believe that this is his. I'm not going to say his coming out party for.
No, that's next. That's Monday Night Football. We're saving that for Monday Night Football.
Oh, I'm saving it for week 8. No, week 5 against the Bucks, though. That's my breakout night. So but spoiler. Okay, yeah. But yeah.
I mean, real quick, I know you got to do something at 8:30, but yeah. I believe the reason I say week 3 Monday Night Football is because it's a rivalry game.
Yes,
he's facing off with Dak Prescott. Mm-hmm. We're on the road in Dallas.
Yeah,
and again, Monday Night Football. Like you can't that's nationally televised. That has to be the game where he says, "I'm here." I'm here. That has to be the game.
But against the Super Bowl champs at home,
I feel
Thursday
you.
night football, all black. We
Oh,
barely lose.
we play on Thursday?
The Buccaneers, they come to Philly Thursday night football. I'm gonna be there, by the way.
That's a trap. You gonna be there?
Yes.
Oh, that's
I'm
that's a
driving
trap
from
game.
Virginia to go to Philly. Be at Thursday night football and drive back home that same night. So
that's
how
a trap
much
game.
confidence I have. Yeah, for the Bucks.
Yeah, for them. Yeah. I ain't gonna lie. I believe that's a trap game. I believe we catch them slipping, coming off a Sunday, going into Thursday. I believe we catch them slipping because they're probably gonna look at us. They're probably gonna look at us. Okay, we just gotta mail this one in, y'all. We got this game. I'm telling
And the
you.
week before they played the Dolphins, and then I think the week before that, the Bucks, they either played the Patriots. So those are two back-to-backs, emotional games for Tom Brady. They come to Philly on Thursday night. I think Tom Brady will be ready, but the rest of the team probably won't be as ready as Tom Brady. And it's hard. You've seen Thursday night games before, and they are either a blowout or a grind out. We went to Green Bay. We needed to win at Lambeau Field. Nobody wins at Lambeau Field. Nobody went at Green Bay. We went to Green Bay, needed to win that win, all black, and that was Jordan Howard 3-touchdown game, and we ended up winning that game. So I believe in Thursday night games. I believe in our black jerseys, in all black, home field advantage.
Huge in Philly. Huge. Is this your first time coming to the link?
No.
Okay.
No, I was there in 2019 when they took off for their 4-game winning streak when they beat the Giants in overtime.
Oh yeah.
In the rain, I was there. Like, come on! Like, I was
freezing,
there, man. So,
bro, it get cold out there, man. It get cold. Yo, let's be real. Eagles tailgates, they top. They up there. They top 5. They up there.
Yes. So I'll be there Thursday. I'm leaving work like noon. I'm leaving work at noon. Just driving down to Philly. So I'll be there like 4 p.m. and then just try to tailgate and do my thing.
So it's about a 4-hour drive, about 3 or 4 hour drive.
About 3.
Okay,
just under 3.
That's not bad. That's not bad. That's not bad at all.
And I have to wake up and go to work the next morning at 4 o'clock. But hey, it's all good though. Hey, the love, look, it's all for the birds, man. It's for the love of the birds, man. But it's all good, man. Look, my guy, I have to get up, and I appreciate you coming on this.
You already know, bro. It was love.
Yo, I appreciate you, man. Hey, let them know your link is right there. It's also in the chat. If you're subscribed to me and not subscribed to this guy, you are doing yourself a disservice, man. Because he's one of the reasons why I even started doing YouTube.
Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy, man. I appreciate that,
yourself,
man. Wow.
Philly Notion, Philly 500. Y'all guys have so much passion for the love of the game. And we don't get paid to do this. We just do this out of love of the game. And, you was the reason why I started doing it. I saw you hit your 1,000 and your 1K.
Wow, appreciate that, bro.
I was on your show.
Damn,
so I was like, man, okay, all right. I love it. So I decided to start it. So if you're not subscribed to me, just subscribe. If you subscribe to me, please go subscribe to my guy, Tone Deshields, man, because he's doing wonderful things. Once again, let them know where to find you, man, what you're working on, and just let them know.
Sure. So, like my man JC said, Tone Deshields II from Chalk It Up. Where no matter if we win or if we lose, we just got charges to the game. You guys can search me on YouTube at Tone Deshields II. On top of that, I do a podcast, the Let's Be Honest podcast, where I interview up and coming artists, up and coming entrepreneurs, different Philly creatives. Just maybe your average Joe. I do a podcast where we talk about life, the culture, self-investment. We talk about business. We talk about relationships. We talk about music. I do an interview-based podcast known as Let's Be Honest with Tone Deshields II. The episodes are available on my YouTube channel as well, so make sure you guys go support that. Go support Chalk It Up with Tone Deshields II. Also go support Let's Be Honest with Tone Deshields II. You guys can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Deshields, my last name, the way it's spelled down there. That's how you spell it on anywhere on social media, at Deshields _. That's DESHIELDS __. And listen, if you guys are subscribed to me, make sure you guys go subscribe to my man JC, My man is really doing his thing, and I'm just so humbled by being able to come on his platform. This guy's the real deal. He knows the game. He knows his stuff. And, hopefully I see you on one of these Eagles against my brother. I really appreciate you for coming on. Well, bringing me on, man. Truly.
Yes, sir. Hey, if you're not subscribed to me, man, look, I try to do play-by-play every Sunday. I did my first play-by-play this past Sunday, and I'm about to do a play-by-play this upcoming Sunday for the Philadelphia Eagle fans that can't watch the game. That's the least I could do for y'all for subscribing to my channel. I know it's hard to, get the Eagles game, in some regions and stuff like that. So that's my thank you to y'all. So I appreciate y'all very much, and I love every one of y'all. As always, and you already know, go Birds.